In this video, you're going to discover the 5 things you need to focus on as a beginning entrepreneur online to grow and scale your successful online business. The reason why I'm making this video is in the beginning, it can be so crippling when you're first getting started. There seems like there's so many things to learn. You've got different social media platforms. You've got different ways of creating content. You need to learn how to write search engine optimized blog posts, how to make perfectly edited YouTube videos. There's so many things that oftentimes we get stuck spinning our wheels and never making forward progress. So the 5 items on this list I'm about to give you are what's going to help you focus and actually grow and scale and make meaningful progress towards a long-term sustainable business. All right. And the first one here is I want you to focus on only one avatar. Now, what is an avatar? It's your perfect customer. It's who you want to talk to. And I want you to go ahead and give this person a name, like personalize them. Don't just think, oh, I help moms, or I help sports athletes, or I help high school kids. Like, give it a name, like whether it's Bert, whether it's like Fanny, like whatever fun name you want to have, so that every time you're writing a blog post, you're writing it to Fanny. I'm going to use that name because I love it that I just came up with it. Or every time you're writing an email, like, hey, what does Fanny need to know right now? When you can like put a face and a name, I want you to sketch this person out or go to like a stock photo library and find a picture of them and put them on your monitor. So every time you're working on your online business, make sure you're focused on Fanny or whoever your avatar is and keep your content focused. If you try to talk to everybody, you're speaking to nobody. All right, number 2 is I want you to focus on a single traffic source, whether that's paid traffic. If you want to get really good at copywriting and learn how to turn $1 into 2, that's great. If you want to kind of dabble in easier, you can either start out with blogging, which is how we got started, just focusing on the written word and getting content out to Fanny. Or if you want to do YouTube or podcasting, the written word, the spoken word, or the video is a fantastic way to get started with traffic sources. But here's the thing. Most people try to do all platforms in the beginning and they simply can't get it out. Like they'll maybe get stuck in writer's block and they'll never get around to recording their video, or they try to stick to a consistent schedule and they just can't do it because there's too many things going on. The truth is it's way easier to build up one traffic source and then port them over, like move them. If you're really good on video, if it's easier for you to create them, create videos. And eventually, once you have a following built up on that one platform, being YouTube, you can send them over to your email list way easier than it is to start out with a blog and a YouTube channel and a podcast and grow them each slowly. Okay, so one traffic source. All right, tip number 3 is have a single product, one product. Don't try to spend all your time making this myriad, this huge portfolio, this huge product catalog of things when you don't even have any traffic coming into your funnel. Traffic, not traffic. Using the 80-20 principle, 80% of your time should be on working on promoting and building your audience and giving out value to get found and noticed, and only 20% should be on actually creating products or doing all that product creation stuff. Because ultimately, creating products can be a form of procrastination. We can put our heads down, and I've seen this so many times with different clients. They'll put their heads down and work for 2 years straight on these massive products when they have nobody to sell them to. Tip number 4 is to have a single conversion mechanism. Now, what does that mean? A conversion is to get somebody from being a visitor to getting them into your world, becoming a lead. So this is one lead magnet, one funnel. And if you don't know what a sales funnel is or how to get one up and started, I put together a completely free checklist called the Funnel Launch Checklist. It's fantastic. It's what we use personally whenever we launch new funnels. If you want to see how to do it step by step, go to loveyourfunnels.com. The link's down below in the description. Okay. So why one conversion mechanism? Well, at the end of the day, once you find a sales funnel that works, that can take somebody in and with reasonable predictability, be able to get you out a certain result, at that point, it's time to just crank up the volume and either put paid traffic into it or create more organic traffic to drive traffic into that funnel. But when you have like 30,000 different freebies, in the beginning, you should test and figure out what works. But once you find something that works, just go all in on that one thing and grow that one thing. It's way easier to put your focus on one thing and grow it than it is to go on like all these different funnels. I know this by experience. We did kind of fall into that trap, and it gets to be this hairy mess that you just can't make sense of. So one conversion mechanism. And the 5th one, and the challenging one, is to focus on this for 1 year, right? Like, don't get shiny object syndrome and fall off the wagon and do something else. The number 1 success indicator is your ability to be consistent and persistently work on the right things over long periods of time. In the beginning, you might not see a lot of return. It might seem like it's just not going anywhere, not budging, but I urge you to push on forward. If your plan is sound, if you follow the other ones that I told you to do in this video, and you stick with it for a long enough time, you will come over the hump. You will get over that little corner, and you'll accelerate forward. Oftentimes, the night is darkest just before the dawn, and that's how it often is with entrepreneurship. You might not see any progress for a long period of time, and you're going to want to quit, right? It's going to happen. But normally that time, that moment of despair is just before it upticks. And I'll put a link in the description down below to a related video that kind of walks through that entire mental model to help you push through those low moments. All right, guys, so there it is. Those are my 5 tips to growing and scaling online business from scratch. And it really comes down to those 5 ones that you can stick true to. All right, if you enjoyed this video and want to get more of it, go ahead and click on loveyourfunnels.com down below in the description. That'll get you my free checklist to growing and launching your one main conversion mechanism in 2021. All right, guys, that's it for me. I'll see you in the next one.